Alrighty, folks, how's it going? Hey, I had another guy on one of my other videos ask a question about what I thought of the Haun Ranch hog hunting in Texas. I went there the first week in January of 23, just a 2-day hunt. Didn't know a whole lot of what to expect. I've only done one other guided hunt, and that was a deer hunt. Um, I did some research on it, of course, and there's some information out there, but there wasn't a lot of videos or detailed information about the Haun Ranch. So that's part of what I'm doing this for, is so for future hunters that they have an idea of what to expect. So it's 2 days, and not on the website anywhere, but when I got there, I found out it's actually 2 nights of hunting. He said that the hogs are pretty much completely nocturnal right now, and pretty much are most of the season, it sounded like. So it's a all-night event. At the time, it was getting dark around 6 o'clock. He suggested hunting from, dusk to dawn. The 2 nights I was there, the first night, I stayed out from I got out there about 5:30 or so, and then I stayed out till 3 a.m., at which point I was just too tired to stay out there. I had not anticipated it being a night-only hunt, and had not slept enough prior, I suppose. So anyways, it was 2 nights. The first night I saw a bunch of deer, but no hogs. And during the day of then the second evening, I should say, ended up having some hogs coming out about an hour and a half after dark. A group of 6 to 8 hogs, all about the same size. Ended up harvesting 2 of them, and one weighed 105 pounds, the other was 125 pounds. Definitely have some hogs out there. There's a lot of activity around the feeders. You could see the ground was tore up and such. In between during the day, a couple things you can do. They have some small ponds that you can fish, but also he has a high fence area. Now, I'm not a high fence hunter. Just don't. If that's what you like, that's fine. It's not normally for me. But after the first night of not seeing any hogs, I really had wanted a hog on this trip. So I asked him about the high fence area, if it was a daytime activity as well. It's 250 acres, 8-foot high fence. He pays a gentleman who traps hogs elsewhere, brings them in, and releases them in the high fence area. There's a couple videos out there, I believe, from Haun Ranch themselves about them releasing those hogs into the high fence. So they are wild hogs, but they're in a high fenced area, enclosed. He charges $1.25 per on the hoof weight for those hogs. So I did end up going there with one other hunter that was there as something to do during the day and just see what happened. It was a lot like flushing rabbits. There was about knee-high grass, and so when you went up there, you started kicking the grass around like you would on a northern rabbit hunt. A group of like 5 or 6 hogs broke when I was about 10 yards away from them, maybe 15, and scattered in all directions. Now, as a deer hunter, when I'm accustomed to things running, they run fairly straight. Not these hogs. Not at all. Much more like rabbit hunting, darting, moving, twisting, going one direction, going another direction, just back and forth. It was a great time. Absolutely loved it. Not a high fence guy again, but it was fun. Again, it was like flushing rabbits or bird hunting almost. Quite an adrenaline rush. But that's $1.25 a pound, live weight, before field dressing and such. That's available to do during the daytime. It was fun in its own right. I don't know if I'd really call it hunting as much because they're all in, a 200-acre area. However, I will say in high fence defense, if you will, was that it was definitely thick in there. Think northern swamp type of thickness. There's some open areas with some grass that I was going through, but certainly a large percentage of that acreage was dense. So there was some hiding. And then the second night, like I said, I went back out to the actual wild hogs, to the free range, I should say. And I'd say, so overall, there were some hogs. I would classify it, coming from a deer hunting perspective, a guided deer hunt where the guide shows you all the trail cam photos for the stand he's putting you in. He picks the stand for you, puts a lot of thought and effort into where to go, when to go, and all that. This was very different. I would classify this a whole lot more like going to your friend's house to hunt. Your buddy invites you over to hunt, tells you, hey, I've been seeing some hogs. We went out one day on the second day I was there during the daytime. We went out and replenished some of the hog feeders, the corn, and pulled trail camera cards. Terry, the owner, handed us the cards, said there was a reader in the lodge. Have look through them, see what we thought, ask any questions we have, and then just pick where we want to hunt. Not a problem. I enjoy picking where I want to go too, but it was very much of a hands-off of, hey, I'm going to go about my day. I'm more than happy to pick you up, drop you off whenever, wherever, but I would call it a lot more semi-guided than I was anticipating. Again, I didn't go into it with knowing what a hog hunt was. Maybe that's what other people do, but it's much more of a pick your spot, let me know, and I'm in his also, any time of the day or night, you're done hunting, you shoot a hog, whatever, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, call him, text him. He's like, I'll get up and drive out there and pick it up for you. So that part's really nice. Super friendly. Terry, the guy owner, is a very friendly guy, very helpful. Definitely wants you to have a good time and get hogs. So it's a very self-guided, I guess is probably the better term for it. But of course, he's got the feeder set up. He's got the stands. All the stands I saw were 2-man stands, the box blinds. Very comfortable. Had swivel, like office-style chairs in them. Very comfortable, very well thought out. Good locations. The LED lights that he's got on the feeders were enough. I did not have any thermal or night vision, just using a standard Leopold 3-9 scope on my AUT-6, and plenty enough. Definitely had a good shot. It was certainly sufficed. If you have night vision and such, it'd probably be even more interesting. That way you can see them while they're farther out. But good time. The lodge, you can see one of my other videos. I did a tour of the lodge. It's like a 2-building affair. You have like a lodge section which has the kitchen and the bedrooms in it, and then there's a separate building about 15-20 feet away that's kind of your hangout area. Got a foosball table in there, pool table, bunch of beautiful mounts on the wall, and then a second bathroom and a shower, so that two guys can be showering at the same time or whatever. One's in one room, one building, and then one in the other. Basic affair, but the beds are comfortable. Everything was clean. Everything was everything worked well. So it was definitely not a high-end. I guess it's not a 5-star hotel or whatever, but definitely was very good for what we needed. It was comfortable. It was perfectly okay. And that all brings me back to my main point, is that it's a $600 hunt. 2 days, $600, unlimited hogs. As many ones as you want to shoot or have the opportunity to shoot. So for $600, had a hell of a time. Great time. And I would recommend it. I didn't see a lot of hogs, but it's hard with wild animals to tell in 2 days what a place is like. Especially when they started hunting, I think, in September, and I'm there in January. So these hogs have had some hunting pressure. It wasn't overrun by hogs by any means, but there was definitely hogs to be shot. 3 guys came in the second day, so they hunted that night, and then one night after I left, and all 3 of them also got hogs. I think they averaged about 90, 95 pounds for theirs. I never saw any big ones. I did see a trail cam photo of one that would significantly larger than the ones I shot. I don't know, 200, 250. So the wild are not overrun with hogs. Again, $600. Excellent value. I would certainly go back again. I would just go into it with the expectation that it's a bit more hands-off than if you're coming from a deer hunting, guided deer hunt realm. It's not quite as hands-on with the guides and the owner. But, you know, a guided deer hunt's what, $2,500, $3,500? This is $600. And once you shoot the hog, he comes and picks them up with a side-by-side. He hangs them. He field dresses them. He quarters them. Overnight he stored them in in a walk-in meat cooler he had. And then the day I left, he quartered them up, put them in my ice chest for me. I didn't have to touch the hogs after I shot them. So overall, great guy, great value, comfortable lodgings, good time. And if you're in that area of Texas and you're looking for a hog hunt that may not have huge hogs, but definitely has some hogs, $600, 3 days, give it a try. Thanks.